What's up, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Prodigy, coming to you live with Chasing Green DFS Mr. Mallard. So we're breaking down the Honda Classic PGA DFS Tour. This is an interesting field, as you can already tell, with the Sungjae Im as the highest priced player. So talk to me about this field, my man.
Yeah, get ready to tilt. Get ready to ride the roller coaster because this week is the way this field is set up. There's value everywhere. This is going to be something where anything can happen. Both of us are going to suggest GPP all the way, mass entry, and just get your exposure to as many value guys as you can because it's any one of these guys can go off this week. It's just too weak of a field.
Right. So like usual, we're going to break it down tier by tier with the 11,000 to 9,000 or 9,800 range, kind of go from range to range. But before we begin, though, hit the like button for me. Definitely go check out Chasing Green DFS website, and you'll find all sports there. And like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's been a ton, as y'all know. So let's dig in to this upper range with Sungjae Im, Westwood, Berger, and Niemann. So we already have news this morning about Daniel Berger. Tell me your thoughts on him.
Yeah, Daniel Berger is someone that I was originally kind of staying away from anyways because it seems to be everyone starting with him in their lineups and getting off of Im. But with the news today that he dropped out of the Pro-Am event today because he's having some rib issues, it definitely makes me worry that he's going to either withdraw before tomorrow or if he plays, he's definitely not 100%. We know that for a fact. So he's for 10-8 in this field. That risk is a bit high for me. I'm definitely going to full fade Berger at this point. I will be curious to see where his ownership goes to, if they go up to Im to bring him up from that 14% projected ownership, or if they drop down to maybe boost someone like a Henley or a Westwood more.
So my deal with Berger is that it's the rib injury, which that's what scares me the most, because when you swing, you're obviously going to hit that rib is moving. I mean, it's obvious that's all your core. So if he's swinging, he's not going to swing full force. There's no way he can, in my opinion. So that's what scares me the most, especially at his price tag at 10.8. If he was in the range of like maybe 8, 7K, which we know that wouldn't have happened, but if he was, then I would have been kind of more curious on him and kind of maybe taking a shot at him for ownership wise. But given that he's the second highest priced player, he's a full fade for me now. I'm not trusting it. I'm not playing him at all. I'd rather get to Sungjae Im or even Westwood, like you convinced me on Westwood this morning. Sungjae Im, I definitely do like him as a top option on this course. 11,000, the price is definitely there. Of course, his irons are clicking, everything's ready to go for him. Not bad course history at all. I definitely like me some Sungjae Im. Lee Westwood, talk to me about him, man.
Westwood is he's on fire right now, and this is the Lee Westwood from, I don't even remember exactly how many years ago it was, but like 5-6 years ago, where everyone thought he was the next big thing on tour, which he was for a while. But to come out here and have a second place in the Players, a second place in the Arnold Palmer in the past 2 weeks, he's fourth in strokes gained total. He finished fourth here last year. I mean, I can name off all these stats, but basically there's a lot of single digit numbers in his rankings this week. And he's just in great form. So he shows up at this course anyways, even when he's not in this good of form. So Westwood, to me, from what I'm seeing, now this was before the Berger news, what I'm seeing was he was going to be around 10% ownership. And for 10% ownership for a guy who can easily come out here and win this tournament, that was a no-brainer for me to include him in my core.
Right. So but another guy I do like, though, is Niemann. I think that basically at his price point, he's a top guy here. I can get to him or Sungjae Im easily in this top range. I'm kind of staying on Niemann, Im, Westwood, and I'm kind of fading Adam Scott. I don't like Adam Scott here. It's just the price point. I'd rather pay up for Im or Westwood, in my opinion. The 10,100 is just not a price for me to pay for Adam Scott. What about you, man?
Yeah, I don't think Adam Scott is someone that you need to play here. I know it was a couple weeks ago. I think it was I forget what tournament it was, but a couple weeks ago we were on him and we were playing him. But this isn't that type of tournament considering the other guys around him. He's also, we talked about this earlier, because of the weaker field, he's got that name recognition, which is probably going to falsely drive his ownership up a little bit.
Exactly.
So I definitely would rather drop down to a Russell Henley where it's probably going to be similar ownership, but I like Russell Henley on this course a lot more than Adam Scott or even a Taylor Gooch.
So the deal with Henley, though, for me is that the approach play is concerning. That's where I'm kind of worried about him. Do you like him overall, though, other than that, for Henley?
Yeah, I'd like Henley. I actually don't mind his approach play here. I think I'm just looking at it here in the field over the last 36 rounds, he's actually ranked second in strokes gained approach and fifth in ball striking. And so I'm gonna say he's top 15 in greens and fairways gained. So he's playing safe and he's playing systematically and efficiently.
Yeah.
So he's a cut maker. He had a top 10 last year. He's actually increased his finishing position every year over the past 4 years. So he's only gotten better, and he finished 8th here last year. So I like him to kind of continue feeling this course, and I'm definitely going to get to some Russell Henley in my lines this week.
The guy I do rather get to though is Cameron Tringale. I love him at the 9,100 price tag.
We might as well rename this segment the Tringale Show, because we are always on Tringale.
He's always a core piece for us, literally. He's always a guy that we're getting to no matter what the price point is. He's just clicking. Like the recent form's there. I don't know what it is for him, but this year he's been on fire, for him at least. Like his game has improved drastically from what he was. I mean, like I said, he fits this course well. The way he plays, like I said, this is course he can easily do well on. I like him a ton here at 9,100.
Yeah, it's definitely been a breakout year for him. So I would agree with that. And I like him here as well. He's a top 30 play for me this week.
So a guy we didn't really talk about a lot was Shane Lowry. What do you think of him?
Yeah, Shane Lowry.
I like him here.
Yeah, I like him here too. I think a lot of people are going to like him here too. Let me quickly look. Yeah, he's projected to be around 15% ownership. And my theory on that is that this is a guy who, because of the field this week, he's priced up higher than he typically is, but he doesn't necessarily have that name recognition as some of the other guys around him, but people still know his name. So I think a lot of people are going to play Lowry thinking that they're being sly, thinking that they're going to be able to pull one over on the field and thinking, okay, everyone's going to go here. And in actuality, I think the players have gotten a lot smarter when it comes to DFS golf, and I'm finding a lot of people are actually on Shane Lowry this week.
So, but like I said, a nice pivot would be Tringale, though, I think.
Yes.
So
I agree. Tringale would be a nice pivot off of him, especially at a savings.
So speaking of name recognition, let's talk about another guy who's fallen off the cliff, and Rickie Fowler. I mean, I
wanted to get to Rickie. I wanted to get to Rickie so bad. I know. I wanted to get to Rickie so bad this week because this is historically his tournament. He missed the cut last year, but in the past 5 years, he has 3 top 6 finishes. Like this is his jam.
That's the thing. Like the past 3 years, but not this year. This year has been a whole another year for him.
Well, it almost started with this tournament. His downfall almost started last year with this tournament, this missed cut, because this was still a place last year where everyone was riding him into this tournament. And then he came out and he disappointed with a missed cut. And ever since then, I feel like he's just faded to the back. And he does not rate out well as far as his recent form. And I can't, sometimes no matter what your course history is, I have to get behind the recent form, and I can't get behind him this week.
I can't do it. Yeah.
I'm at the point I need to see it.
I don't know what's wrong with him. Like, I don't know if it's like the mentality game or what it is for him right now. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because I'm not noticing anything when I see him on the course as far as it's got to be something in his mechanics. That's the only thing that I can think of.
It's not like it was with Spieth where it was the mentality of him. And then we saw him finally kind of boost up his game when the mentality was there, like a Max Homa. I mean, it can easily happen mentally, but like I said, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't understand it. But anyways,
we all knew Spieth was a mental player, so to see the negative mental side of things affect him isn't a surprise. Fowler's always been a guy who's out there just enjoying the course and playing fun, and he doesn't seem to let the mental side bother him. So that's why I think it's got to be mechanical.
Right. But a guy I do like in this 8K range is Ghim. I love him here. I mean, recent form, he's been clicking. His name has been on top of the leaderboards lately. I definitely like him here. He can do well at this course. And the main thing for him, though, is he needs to hold on to that lead if he gets it. That confidence booster, when he gets the lead, he needs to stick with that confidence and stay on the course, if that makes sense. Like, the thing with him is we've seen him, like I said, on top of the leaderboards, but he's fallen off on the round 4 or the round 3s. Round 1 and 2, he'll get it done, but then he'll just drop off. But we need to see him hold that lead on this course, which I think he can do with the player field that we have here. Not like the players and not like the other courses. What do you think of Ghim?
Yeah, so I like Doug Ghim. This is a situation where I'm going to take a chance on Ghim this week because, quite honestly, his comparable course history is awful. He missed the cut here in his only appearance at this tournament last year. So, like, when you look at that stuff, you would think stay away completely. But he does seem to have a swagger about him right now. He's playing well. And in recent tournaments, he's making cuts, and not only making cuts, he's finishing top 30, top 40. So he's going to be there. And he was at the Players last week, towards the top for a while. And he talked about how much fun it was to see Justin Thomas do what he did on Sunday. So
Right.
I'm thinking he seems to have the mental side of it right now, to where he's learning from what he's watching, and I'm hoping that he picked up on something he saw Thomas do and some of those other guys do, and that he might be able to put it together this week. It's a pure gut play that is backed up just by recent form.
Yeah, that's the main thing for me. Like I said, is recent form with him. It's just been on fire. So talk to me about Brendan Steele. I know you like him. Convince me with him.
Yeah, this is one of Brendan Steele's courses. You don't often play Brendan Steele much anymore. But he's historically going to be a guy who comes out and just approaches the ball or hits his approach shots, consistently and efficiently. So I like Steele this week. He's going to be a bit higher on than I would like him to be, but that's just because he has a somewhat recognizable name, like you said before, in this field. So that's to be expected. But he just rates out well at this course and comparable courses, even though his form is a bit up and down at the moment. I like Steele to come in and make the cut here for sure.
So the guy I do like also is Cam Davis. I'm believing in the mullet this week. It's another week we have to believe, dude.
It was the year of the mullet.
We have to believe it, dude. He can definitely win here on this course. I don't mind taking a bet on him either. 8-6 is a great price point. Recent form has been clicking. Swagger's there. He can definitely do it.
That's the weird thing. In the stats, his recent form is kind of on point. It's there. He rates out pretty well. And yet he's got 2 missed cuts in his past 2 tournaments. So there's something happened in those last 2 tournaments where it fell off the rails. But that's being said, it should be hopefully pretty easy for him to just turn it around if it's just
this is a bounce back course for him.
Back. And that's what I was going to say. This is a bounce back course where he does well the past 2 years at.
This is going to be where he bounces back and the confidence is boosted back up, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fading the Kmeyer and Fratelli. Fratelli has been awful. I don't know what's happened to him. I'm not really getting much Wallace or Keegan Bradley. Not really for me. Are you getting any of these guys? I mean, I know I talked about Poulter a little bit. At 8-1, I don't mind it. But then again, like I said, I'd rather get to another guy kind of lower in the 7Ks. Do you like anybody in the lower 8K range, though?
So I'm with you on basically all those guys you named. I'm not really playing much of them. Poulter, I might play some of just because he's pretty middle of the road as far as the way he rates out for this week. But what I've noticed with Poulter is that he's mainly a European Tour player, and when he does come over and play the PGA Tour, he's very specific about what the tournaments he picks, the courses he plays on, so the courses he's comfortable on, this courses he thinks that he can do well on and get a payday out of, or he wouldn't have bothered. So I like that side of Poulter. He's a great putter. That's what's always carried him. And this is a week where putting is going to be very important.
Yes.
So I think his putter can carry him through this weekend. So I'd be willing to get to some Poulter at 8,100. I think his upside is there for that price.
Exactly. So dropping down to the 7K range, a guy that automatically stands out to me that I always kind of boost up also is HV3. I always like him for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I think he can do well here. The putting's there, approach plays there. I mean, the name value, I know it's gonna be there. The ownership will be, or not. Check out his ownership.
Yeah, he's only 8% ownership projected, so that's actually pretty good for 7,600. That's pretty good, especially considering how much of a grind. I mean, that's why I like. He's a grinder. He's someone that when you see him go up there, he just doesn't give up on shots. He plays hard, and he's always gonna put his nose into the up on the leaderboard. He's gonna make himself known at least for 1 or 2 days of the tournament. He might not be there at the end, but he's always gonna be at the top, on that first page at least once on a weekend. Right,
but the higher 7K range, I'm not really getting too much of. Or I know you like. Are you getting any Streelman?
Streelman's the only guy in that higher 7K range that I would get to. I have him rated out pretty well. He's got a fairly consistent history here, and he's been in good form. I know he missed the cut last week, but stats wise and just the way he's swinging, he's been in good form. We've been on him for some other tournaments, so. I don't mind Streelman this week. I'll get to him, but you're right. The rest of that range, I'm kind of staying away from.
Right. So going down to this kind of lower mid-range 7K, EVR is kind of falling off a cliff also. I know we boosted him up at the beginning of the week a long time ago on a couple tournaments, but he's fallen off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Not really getting into much of Aaron Wise. Do you like Thompson, Lee, Kaiser? Do you like any of these guys?
I don't mind Thompson. I don't think he's going to do anything crazy, but I don't mind Thompson. I think he could be a safe play this week. Same thing with Johnson. Johnson does pretty well at this course typically, so I'd get to some Zach Johnson. But the two main guys in this range that I'm going to be getting multiple exposure to is going to be Ryan Moore and Matthew Neesmith.
Yep.
I'm always pumping Ryan Moore for some reason. He just always rates out well for me, and sometimes it works out, other times it doesn't. But he just rates out well here again. He's been having a quietly pretty good season, and his price does not seem to reflect that. Only 7,300. That seems just too low for how he has been playing. So I'll take Ryan Moore, and then same thing with Neesmith. He's just been in great form, and plus on top of that, he just rates out really well for this course with the key stats. So I'll take Neesmith, and I think his ownership will be lower because he's coming off of 2 missed cuts.
Yeah, I'm all over Ryan Moore on this week. I think 7,300 is a great price for him. They can definitely thrive on. Neesmith, we've seen him in this 7K range, even on big tournaments. We've seen him recently in the 7-9 range, 7-8 range, and now he's 7-3 in this tournament. I think he can definitely thrive in. I think this is his course to win on. He can definitely do it here. Dropping down to the lower 7K range, RCB's kind of falling off a cliff once again. Will Gordon, I know we kind of talked about as a punt. If you want to get to him, I don't mind that at all, but I'm going to try to get to Cameron Piercy in the lower 6-9 range. I definitely like me some Cam Piercy at that price point. The upside's there. They can definitely get it done if you need a value play. Do you like any of the lower 7K, kind of high 6K range guys?
Yeah, I think Cam Piercy can definitely get it done I won't call him a punt play because I think he's going to be better than a punt play, but it's from a price standpoint, it would be a salary saver. I also like Reeve and Furyk this week too. I actually have both Reeve and Furyk rated in my top 10 this week. So this is Furyk. We said before, this is Furyk's course. He just shows up here. It's one that he just enjoys playing. And then Reeve's been playing well. He doesn't have any history at this course, but he does pretty well on comparable courses. He's been up and down on his recent form as far as his finishes, but his stats are there. So once again, if he can just find his putter and put that together this week, I think he's in store for a good week.
Right, and the thing with Furyk is this is his course. Like, this is literally his only course that he can do well at. He may stay in other courses, but this course, it just seems like he's on the top of the leaderboard every week, in my opinion.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely like Furyk at 6,900 this week down here for sure.
Exactly. Talk to me about your punt plays down here that you're liking in the lower 6K range.
Yeah, so I will. So yeah, the very low 6K range. I got 2 punt plays. If you want to try to get maybe 3 of those top tier 10 9K range guys, which might not be a bad route. I'll probably have a couple lines where I go that route. You're gonna need 2 guys from down here, and I'd be willing to take chances, and I'm going to emphasize chances because they are punt plays on a Tyler Duncan and a Kramer Hickok, if I'm saying Hickok right. But Tyler Duncan, he missed the cut here last year, but other than that, he made the cut 2 years prior to that. He rates out well on comparable courses. He's got 2 top 10 rankings and key stats, and for 6,400, I think he's got the stats in the game to take a chance on. I mean, he's 4 out of the 6 key stats, he ranks top 25 in the field. So once again, it's a situation just like everyone else. If he can find his putter this week, I think he will easily hit his value and surpass that value.
You're not taking the brother and Chase?
The brother and Chase?
Brooks, Koepka.
Oh, where is he? I don't even.
6,100, Chase.
Well, I'm definitely not taking him because I didn't even see him down here. But
I mean,
no, I'm not taking.
They can just switch out each other, like kind of do a twin switch and have Brooks at 6-1.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, just saying.
No, look, he's if you want to go off the bloodline and take a true punt chance, go ahead, sure. But personally, for me, I just don't have enough data on him to make an educated decision on him. I got no history here, no recent tournament history, no comparable course history. Like I just don't really have anything on him to make an estimated guess.
Right. So that pretty much wraps it up on my end. Do you have any last closing thoughts on your end, man?
No, I'm just gonna once again iterate to really, I'd say, suggest GPPs mainly this week. It's going to be a high variance week, so just be smart with what you play and try to get as much exposure spread out as you can.
Yeah, this is strictly just a GPP course. This is no cash game sort of place. This is literally stars and scrubs for me. Kind of get your stars at the top and try to fill in the gaps with your kind of lower 6K, 7K range guys, in my opinion. So
exactly.
That pretty much wraps it up for us, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in, and definitely hit that like button for me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's me out a ton, as y'all know. Have a great and safe rest of your day. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye, all.